All right, here we go. Hey, welcome to the latest episode of Rumor Has It, podcast produced by two amazing students at Cedar Springs High School. With us today in the studio is John. He is just bringing it on a high level on this sunny Monday afternoon. Also joining us in studio is Courtney MacDonald. Courtney MacDonald is the new principal at Cedar View Elementary School. We're really excited just to hear her story and hoping to introduce Courtney to the students and the parents, families who are going to be attending Cedar View Elementary School in the fall. So we're excited. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
Rumor Has It. So, Courtney, rumor has it that you have a new job.
Yes.
Tell us about that. What's
Yes.
your new adventure going to be like in the fall?
So I am very excited. I'm going to be the new principal at Cedar View Elementary, which is our 4th and 5th grade building. And so I will be leaving the middle school at my post there. I've been there for 2 years at the middle school with 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So I am really looking forward to checking out the elementary world and all it has to offer. And it's a really cool opportunity for me.
So you've got some ties though back to elementary level teaching
Yes.
and elementary level students.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about some of your background as a teacher
Sure.
and also some of your early roles as an administrator?
Yeah. So I taught 6th and 5th grade at a charter school before coming to Cedar Springs Public Schools. And I taught 6th grade here when Red Hawk was the 6th grade only building. And then I was able to move into an assistant principal role for the 6th grade, which was really amazing opportunity. At that same time, I took on the summer school when we did Camp Red Hawk. Summer schools evolved a lot over the years, but part of my role was running that summer school program K through 8th grade. I also did the after school programming K through 8th grade. So I was responsible for that for a while. And the cool thing is I still got to work with various grade levels, not just my middle school group. So that was very enjoyable to be able to meet a lot of new teachers and students through that. So then I went into 8th grade principal role and then middle school principal role. And now I'm going to Cedar View.
So take us back to that time when you just first decided, hey, I'm going to pursue a career in education. Who or what had the
Yeah.
greatest influence over that decision for you?
Yeah, probably my son Noah. I finished up school when I had him. He was about 2 years old at the time. So I went into elementary education. At the same time, I was working for some nonprofit agencies with at-risk youth. And I really loved doing that. I got to be part of AmeriCorps and I taught job readiness workshops at Goodwill Industries, which is a cool part of Goodwill that people don't always know exists. They have a lot of support for different populations and helping them secure a job and then keep that job too. So that really did inspire me to continue my degree in education. And even as a child, I ran a library in the basement of my parents' house. They still tease me about it. It was a room under the stairs, like a closet, and I transitioned it into a library. And I think they told me to cut it out when I started putting overdue notices in people's mailboxes in the neighborhood. So
Yeah.
they said that needed to calm down a little bit. But I've always loved kids. I've always babysat. I've always nannied, taught Sunday school, worked with different groups. And so I always knew I was meant to work with kids as part of my career.
Okay, so if you couldn't be a teacher or you
Yeah.
couldn't be a principal, what would you want to be?
Ooh, I love interior design. So I definitely would love to do something like that. I would love to work for a place that has historical elements to it. Like I think the Amway Grand, whenever I go in there, I'm like, who is their interior designer that picks all the carpets and things like that? So I think I would do that or be a lawyer. I still sometimes think about being a lawyer in a career one day, far, far in the future, or a social worker.
Yeah.
A lot of interest.
What excites you about heading into this new school year?
So, as I've worked with 6th graders for the majority of my career in education, I've seen the struggle of that transition from being in this elementary like world to being in a really fast paced moving world with 6 different hours to try to keep organized and all these different assignments and things. And so I saw this as a really cool opportunity to pour into those younger age groups as they're getting ready for that middle school time
Mhm.
of their life, and offer some more ideas for how we can make that a smoother transition and help prepare them more in those age groups. And honestly, it was my favorite grades as a student in school.
Yeah.
I just love it. I think that's when a lot of kids really, the reading piece takes off for them. They're excited about books, they're excited about school. Middle schoolers don't always feel that way, which I can understand, but I'm usually fortunate if I get a little grunt in the morning from a student passing by. So I know fourth and fifth graders are excited to be there, and I'm excited to have that opportunity.
Mrs. Hale was my fourth grade teacher at Parnell Elementary School in
Yes.
Jackson, and Mrs. Thielen was my fifth grade teacher
Yep.
in at the same building. And they, I mean, I remember them vividly. Mrs. Hale broke her leg during some point in time during the fourth grade
Oh,
year, so
no.
those years are super impressionable.
Yeah.
So you mentioned books and fourth and fifth graders really liking getting into reading at a deeper level. Are there some books that you're excited to share
Oh my
with your
gosh.
new students, or maybe some things that you are looking forward to gaining from their perspectives?
I've always loved many different series of books. So, the Boxcar Children's series of Unfortunate Events, Harry Potter, of course. And my kids read a lot too. So, I'm excited to share that love of reading with them,
Yeah.
go into classrooms and get to read. I don't know what my eighth graders would have done if I would have popped into a classroom with a picture book. I think they
Yeah.
probably would have said she needs to take a break for a little bit. She's lost it. But no, I'm excited to just connect with kids over text and talking to them about books and the things that excite them about their learning. So,
So not only does fourth and fifth grade take a new step in terms of reading, it also takes a big leap in terms of math.
yes.
So are there some ideas, some things about math that you really are looking forward to sharing or supporting from a student learning perspective?
Yeah, I mean, math was my favorite subject to teach as a 5th and 6th grade teacher.
Yeah.
It's also where my learning ends oftentimes in math. So as my kids have gotten older and asked for help with various other grade levels, I am not as helpful. So I am excited to go into a 4th or 5th grade classroom and be able to sit with kids and actually understand and help them with what they're working on because math is very challenging. I love how I've seen some schools do a lot of visuals with math, like they'll put the multiplication facts in the hallways or help decorate different areas with that. I think that's super, super cool and powerful. When they get into middle school, they do a lot of collaborative learning at the whiteboards. And so encouraging more of that in fifth or fourth and fifth grade, just that more collaborative math idea. I think that'll be really cool and help them again, just when they go into middle school, how they are doing math a little more exploratory at that age.
Yeah. So one thing I can tell you, the team at Cedar View, the teachers, the support staff are amazing human beings,
Yes.
all in, dedicated. They do an outstanding job. Have you had a chance to work with some of those teachers
Yes.
and have a chance to meet with them, even as this year is winding up?
Yeah, so I was fortunate to work with many teachers from Cedar View with summer school.
Mhm.
There's a lot of Ferris graduates at Cedar View that I went to college with too. So that was cool. But yeah, just getting to know them over the years. They do have a reputation of being a very strong team of educators. I'm excited about that. I've gotten to meet with people, not as many as I would have liked to, but knowing this was announced towards the end of the year, it was just such a busy time. So people were very flexible and patient with me as I zoomed from one building. I mean, I drove the speed limit, but I drove the speed limit to one building
Right,
to the other,
right.
and tried to pop into as many of those as possible. And people were just so wonderful and excited, and just really looking forward to me being excited about being there too.
Yeah. So this next question is a two-parter. So the first part
Okay.
is, what can the students, staff, families expect from you in order to make Cedar View an outstanding place for students to be and staff to be? But then similarly, what do you need from them in order to help raise the game to make it that next level of of success?
Yeah. So the staff and the students of Cedar View can count on me to really prioritize equity in learning. So making sure that the experiences that the kids are getting are in a fourth grade math lesson in one classroom is very similar in another, that they have access to learning. I really value championing kids and just really supporting them and advocating for them. So I plan to do that with staff as well, but they can count on me to be positive and hardworking, creative. I'm a very creative person, so I'm excited to work with kids and get to use some of that creativity more so than I've probably been able to currently. And then from them, just really helping me learn and telling me when I don't know something and teaching me and kind of guiding me to get to know the Cedar View way. And also just to be comfortable with letting me be in the classrooms and work with kids and teachers. I'm really excited about that. So, yeah, just the support, flexibility, and patience, I think, would be the biggest things.
That's awesome. So, rumor has it that you have just a remarkable family. Tell us about the little people in your house and what types of things you're doing this summer for fun.
Yeah. So right now my kids are probably on the trampoline for the millionth time. They like to power jump in the morning and power jump after rest time and power jump before bed. So they get a lot of jumping in there. But my youngest is Phelan. She is 6 years old. She's at Cedar Trails and loves her teachers and classmates there. Rowan is going into third grade. He's at Beach Elementary. And then my oldest, Noah, is at the high school, and he's going to be in 10th grade next year. So this summer, we're doing a lot of hanging out at Lake Michigan, working in the garden. We do have a farm, a small farm. And yes, my last name is MacDonald, so it does make sense that I have a farm. But we have 2 ducks. We have 26 chickens. Cats, dog, bunnies, and likely more animals will be headed there as soon as I can convince my husband to let me get some more. But
so what's next? What's next on the list of additions?
I am really fascinated with cows, so I really want a cow. I already have the name picked out and everything. Do Betsy, but yeah, I would like a cow.
Oh my goodness. Very, very good. So any other adventures planned between now and the first part of the school year?
Yeah, so we're going to go up to Saugatuck for a week here pretty soon with my in-laws. So we're excited to go to Oval Beach, check out downtown Saugatuck, which is really fun. We also are going to be going up to Ludington as well. So just excited to be outside as much as possible. And we know with Michigan, the weather is pretty unpredictable. So soaking up a lot of the sun while we can.
It's always sunny in our hearts.
Yes.
That's the name of the game.
Yes.
So when you're in Saugatuck, are you going to do the dune rides?
Yes. We actually reserved that. My kids have never been, so I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, one of the things that I've always appreciated about you is that you have the spirit, the ability to be wildly successful at whatever it is that you're embracing. So you're the type of person that I was very confident in that you could be successful as a high school administrator. You could be successful as a middle school administrator. You'll be successful as an elementary school administrator. So I'm just really, really fired up to see the remarkable impacts of your work at Cedar View Elementary School.
I will be lucky to be there. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So that's a wrap on this episode of Rumor Has It with the new confirmed, no longer a rumor, but the new confirmed principal at Cedar View Elementary School. Again, we thank producer John, who's giving up his Monday afternoon to be a part of this adventure. And we just thank you for tuning in and listening. We've got more exciting podcasts, more exciting guests coming in just to help provide some information about Cedar Springs Public Schools. We're excited for those next steps, and we're grateful for you to be a part of this day. Thank you so much.